thanks for joining us on our latest Soundtrack to Success webinar, and delighted to have our guest this week as the wonderful Mr. Dean Towers. Good afternoon. He's laughing at that. Good afternoon, Dean.
Hello, good afternoon, Mike.
How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, good. Now we've been having a bit of a natter before this about all the stuff, and I think we could probably talk for hours, but we need to keep it to about 25 minutes, I think, something like that. But for those who are going to watch it later, thanks for those who joined us. But do you want to just, for everyone who may not know you, Dean, just give a bit of an overview of you and your business and what it is you actually do?
Dean Towers. I've got two businesses currently running, which is BCS Electrics, that's been established since 1946. Bought into that about 5 years ago, and I've worked here for the last 25 years, believe it or not. Recently launched BCS Security Solutions, which is going great guns at minute. Security for domestic market and the commercial market, same as electrics.
Yeah, and that, as you say, that's just been going for a few months now, hasn't it? But
launched in January.
Yeah, and it's fair to say you're fairly well known around Leeds and the whole networking scene, and we'll touch on kind of personal branding stuff a little bit later on. But the reason you come on here is just having a bit of a natter about your music taste and your album of choice, which was Motley Crue. So just give us a bit of a background as to why that album, because I've not heard listen, but I've just listened to it now, and we're just saying, oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of them where I think sort of growing up for me, I was more into dance scene, so it were because it were in 80s and 90s and what have you, so it were more into that sort of scene, but and glam rock.
Yes.
Well, a bit like, oh no, you don't want to listen to glam rock. It's a bit weird, is that, you know?
Hey, that's my era. Stop it, behave.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit weird, but you know. But no, I just, to be fair, I heard Dr. Feelgood, and it was just all drums and everything and I just thought, no, I like that, because I like that. I was into rock and soft rock and stuff like that anyway, ish. But then, as soon as I dropped onto that album, it was just something else. It went in car for like 3 months solid, even to the point where Tony at office would get in car and go, oh, can we turn it off? I'd have it blaring out in garage, and even neighbours know words. You know, it were ongoing for that long. But there's just something about Motley Crue. It was that bit of rebellion thing. I think it was just like, you know, stick two fingers up to it and do what you want to do for a bit. And I think you can get lost in that. Yeah,
and was it the sort of thing that you picked up? You said that you had in the car, but prior to getting into that kind of stuff, when you talk about, you know, the glam rock things and all that kind of stuff, what was your kind of stuff you were into, like at school, and did that kind of?
At school it was Stone Roses, Roses, Oasis, Ocean Colour Scene, usual.
The whole Manchester thing, walking around. Yeah. And then sort of kind of, as you got a bit older, you kind of turned to more of the stuff that you were talking about. Yeah.
But my take on music, I listen to every kind of music that's out there.
And if you can't,
like I say, you know, 1 minute radio can be on and there'll be a rock song, and next minute, you know, Westlife's playing and I'm singing along to that, and that last comes in taking Mickey out of me, so I can't win.
But you can't know, but you always end up remembering the words, though, don't you? That's no matter what it is, you always end up knowing the words, don't you? Whether you like the song or not, because you've had it subliminally drilled into you, you start humming away and the rest of it.
Well, it used to be all right when I was on tools, because I could blame Radio 1. So she'd go, how do you know words to Backstreet Boys? And I go, it's on radio all the time. It's just all the time on radio. Can't get away from it.
So is this when you say you're on the tools? So this is when you first started with BCS? Is that right? Or is that what it was part of the whole thing then, when your early days at BCS? Because obviously we know you weren't there since 1946.
No, 47 I started.
47 you started. So when you were there on the tools, was that kind of the music of choice? You're working with Us Sunshine, this is what you're going to listen to, and
pretty much, because you know, you got banding about between blokes. Go with him this week, go with him next week, and blah blah blah. So you had somebody listening to Mark and Lard on Radio 1, and then you'd go, shut up now, because it's what it's Steve Wright that used to do music.
In the morning, the quiz, pop quiz. Pop master in the morning.
That's the one. So there'd be 3 or 4 guys that'd be listening to that, and you'd be like, right, okay. So I suppose, in a way, I sort of learned about music through working with these guys.
Yeah, it's quite fun, isn't it? Because that still continues on now. And I remember when I was growing up, it'd be like Steve Wright was on Radio 1, never mind Radio 2. You know, and I was don't laugh. I was stick with this now, isn't it? But no, I have memories of me listening to Radio 1 when I'm doing my O-level art. So Steve Wright in the afternoon, and all the jocks are on there. We're all on Radio 1. So I kind of get it. You do pick up loads of stuff, don't you? And now when I was working out say again, Richard.
I listen to Radio 1 every day.
Oh, there you're with it, aren't you?
I remember it first coming on when I was 5, and I'm 59 now, and I still listen to Radio 1. It's programmed on this PC here. When I get a new car or a truck, 1 to 6 buttons, it's Radio 1. I don't listen to anything else.
Do you not?
Nope.
Oh, you see, it's the future DAB radio, isn't it? You can get like Planet Rock and all sorts on its. But then again, you need 150 stations because then you just start flicking through them and you don't listen to any music.
It's the same as being on your TV, though, isn't it? It's exactly the same thing. You spend ages doing anything. But so I think you're right, though. Going back to what you were saying, you're surrounded with all those kind of people, different people, aren't you? They're older than you, and you're listening to what they do because you've got no choice. New boy's not going to come in and start going, right, let's put some else on and listen to it. Is he? You're going to be stuck with it. So as you progress through, then, because obviously now you're your own BCS, your MD there. Have you changed anything from a music point of view in the business? Do they still play the stuff? Do you still encourage it?
It's tricky now because working on site, you're not allowed radios on site due to health and safety.
So, of course, right.
You know, it's all changed from there. But no, music-wise, in Office, Office is a funny one because you get a bit of an earworm with a song. Tony's really good at singing a song, and then you end up singing it. And then you end up playing it on YouTube, and then it gets annoying, and then you want to beat him up and get him out. But Chris, one of our estimators, Chris is really into his music. He loves his Oasis and his old like Bridewell Taxis and you know, stuff like that. Proper local bands and stuff. He'll sit in Office singing his frill off for Chris. Not a problem at all. The only time Andy listens to music is week before Christmas. He's got a CD player in his bottom drawer, and that comes out, and it's just got one album that just plays Christmas songs.
And that's it.
And that is it. It's like there's only so many times you can listen to George Michael.
Well, there isn't. There's so many White Christmases you can do and everything else, isn't it? Michael Bublé and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's each to their own, isn't it? And I think that's what's the great thing about the whole music thing. It's your own selection, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when we were chatting yesterday, you kind of use it as a way, don't you, as well for. I think there's someone just joining us on here. Let me just admit them. You were saying yesterday you use it as a way kind of to escape and get away from the work thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
You find important to you. So just tell us a little bit around, that and how you kind of use it from that perspective.
So I suppose music for me really is, it's an escape, if you like. So I'll go home on a night. Let's say I go home on a night and I've had a bit of a rough day or whatever, and I'm sat on the sofa miserable, and she'll come in and say, "What's up?" I'll tell her, and she just goes, "I just went garage for a couple of hours."
Yeah.
Go make something on your bike or go do something on your bike, and because she knows I'll put radio on. And music for me is an escape. It helps massively with my mental health because I suffered over lockdown, like a lot of people suffered over lockdown because you just don't know what's going on. And I found that music, it was just a release. You could go in garage and 4 hours later you'd go, I better go and have my tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welders been going, grinder, lathes on going, electric's going like that. You know what I mean?
But I know from talking to you during lockdown, you put a lot of energy into your staff and your team and making sure they all were really you made sure they were all right, didn't you?
Yeah,
that was really important to you.
Yeah, definitely. I pretty much emailing them every week to keep them up to date, and then just making phone calls to people just to make sure they were all right, really. Because last thing you need is I was struggling. So, if there's if I think there's me and another 28 of us, somebody else has got to be struggling, hasn't there? So it was just keeping in touch with emails and giving them little bits of news every time Boris come up telly and announce something, we'd update them all with that and I'll break it down a little bit and give them a bit of a, this is what it really means and stuff like that. And we also decided that we could afford to pay them full pay instead of furloughing them at 80%. So we paid that for about 8 weeks. So, and to be fair, when we come back, we just had people coming up to us and shaking his hands and thanking us for, I really appreciate what you've done. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. But you just got to keep in touch with them all and
absolutely,
and see what people are about because people will say they're all right, but they're
not. No, but this was your way of getting you've been looking after yourself, effectively, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Getting Mrs. T to say off you go.
She just gives me lists. What are you doing today? No. Oh, well, you are now.
You are now.
Just slide your list across the table.
I think that's kind of that's the law, though, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
I think that's what comes with that. That and a list.
Yeah, that and a list that goes with it. Yeah.
I think there were a list inside it when I got it.
Yeah, I think we've all got one of them. But I also find you get selective hearing as well, which is also good. So just going back to keeping on track with the music thing, rather than we get into any marital disputes and stuff like that. We talking yesterday as well. That I didn't know this, but you did a bit of DJing as well.
Yeah.
Did you do?
I'm not like I'm not like flashing lights and a bit of shawaddy waddy in background. It's
that's disappointing. I thought you might be. I'm waiting for a sign to come saying "book me for your Christmas party" kind of thing.
No, it's just something I started doing when I was about 15, maybe. Yeah. And I were big into my vinyls and stuff like that. Then hundreds of vinyls. Just used to go to Racks of Wax and what have you, Steve Luigi's place in Leeds, and listen to records, buy a few records every Saturday when I got money. Yeah. Back home, but I had proper decks and what have you set up there at home when I lived at my mum's. But now I bought it's just basically a small plug and play system which has got everything on it, and it works through a laptop, and it works exactly the same, principles the same and everything. So again, that's another one. Just go stick my headphones on, in utility room, shut door, and stay in there for an hour.
Yeah, so we're not going to find you on YouTube or banging any tunes out, anything like that.
Definitely not.
And your son's not coming, Dad, what are you doing? Come on.
No, he enjoys it, to be fair. He likes it. Yeah. Sometimes he comes in and he's like, that was fun. So I'm saying, I don't mind you getting that, but don't get my face. I don't want anybody to know it's me.
And is that, do you think you kind of, because you say your son, we were chatting earlier about your son gets in with you in the bikes, and for those who don't know, Dean's big into his Harleys. So has your kind of music influence rubbed off on him, or does he have his own sort of taste in music, or is he?
Well, he's of that age where he's 19, so it's clothes trainers, his girlfriend, and his car, and Stormzy and people like that, So to me, that's too new for me, But he there's regular. I can walk upstairs past the bathroom and he's playing a bit of, I don't know, Creedence Clearwater Revival or something while he's in the shower. He loves it. He loves all that stuff because his granddad does. Claire's dad loves it. He loves it. So it's all he plays and it's stuff I play. So he just sort of got involved in it and he loves it.
Yeah, I mean, it's rubbed off on my two, because I've got two girls at 29 and 26, and they listen to some of that and they know some of the stuff, probably because we drilled it into when we were driving anywhere and they had it on the car rather than Mr. Blobby or whatever we had at the time, or the Tots TV and all that kind of stuff. So I think it does have an influence, doesn't it? But it just goes to show how it kind of debates, does it, to some extent, and it's really important. It's great that is it Claire's dad who likes into all the music as well?
Well, Claire's dad was a rocker when he was younger, he's always been into all that stuff. Yeah.
It's at least what's going to make me is when we're really old, what sort of stuff we're going to be saying. Oh, back in the day when we were playing, smack your bitch up, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be really weird, when we go back and look at what are you playing now? I'm playing a bit of the Cult, right? Okay.
But
it's the way it's going to go, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so But the funny thing is as well, when you're playing like the sort of house music and stuff that I play from '90s, he'll come in and go, "Oh, I've heard that before," and I'll say, "Yeah, because it's been remixed about 15 times, and you've probably heard the latest one. This is the original one."
No, I know, and I know. Things just come around, don't they? Things like that. And then we talked about live music as well yesterday, and you surprised me with a couple of concerts that you went to.
Oh. You mean Metallica and thrash metal concerts that have been going on?
Yes, those two, but those two I'm particularly thinking about, which you can say who you went to go and see, which I didn't quite expect, but clearly you had Mrs. T and the was the influence for taking her to go and see Pink and Adele.
Well, you could say that, yeah. But to be fair, we went to we saw Pink at Anfield.
Yeah. Oh, sacred place.
And that is one of the best times I've ever had, because we were in a proper football pub over the road. Yeah. Where there were no chairs and tables. It was just a shelf all the way around to put your drinks on, because somebody had already either eaten at the table or stole them or burned them. And we went straight over the road into the ground, and it was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. it were really, really good. And then we went for rest at night out around Liverpool, and it was just well, we said we're going back to Liverpool anyway because it was an amazing place. Love it.
It's an amazing city, even better football team. Yeah, it's an amazing city. But again, going to the concerts, it's a whole experience, isn't it?
Definitely.
Even if they're not your biggest, they're not your favourite thing, it's still great to see people live, isn't it? It's such a
of course it is. Brilliant. We got we went to see Adele in Manchester. We got sat next to two older ladies, and all they did all night was scream. Yeah. So it's like, in end, I says, "Can you not scream as loud? Because I can't hate music." He just screamed for like 3 hours constant. It was just like, oh, shut up.
They're not looking. Go, what are you doing here?
Yeah. You come it wrong.
Well, you touched on going to Metallica, didn't you? You said and to be fair, Dean, we'll touch on your personal brand now, because you're not the typical kind of person who you would see at an Adele concert, are you? Perception. We talked about this yesterday, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Personal brand, yeah.
Your personal brand, which is that. But since you've had your haircut, you've thrown me a little bit. But it's all around. But for you, it's the personal brand is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, personal brand for me is massive. And to be fair, I really didn't appreciate it at first. And big shout out going out to Dave Clarkson, anyway, friend of mine in business. He was the one who come and says, you are who you are, and you're not your typical managing director, you're different. And I've had people come up to me and go, "Hi, you're Dean." Yeah, I am. And then you feel awful because I'm like, I'm sorry, have we met? Oh, no, I seen you on LinkedIn and I saw you at a networking thing, but we never got a chance to speak and stuff like that. And I thought, well, that's great, that, because, people know who I am.
Yeah, I mean, I think I first met you, must have been 3 odd years ago, I think. I think it was Graham Shear sends his apologies, by the way, because he can't join us, but he was going to join us. He said to say hello. But I think I think we first met at one of Graham's events.
Yeah, lovely fella.
You're right, aren't you, though? It's perception, what people see of you, but that's important to you. And I think from the marketing point of view, we often talk about people making sure they're notified and stand out, because that's it. It's people see you, what they see for the first time is that first touch point they have with you, what you like, and it's the perception, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah.
And obviously, we were talking yesterday about the tattoos and all that kind of stuff, which is really personal to you, the beard and the piercings and everything. But you don't change, which is brilliant. Apart from your hair, obviously, that throws a little bit. And that time you shaved your beard off at an event, I thought, bloody hell, you look about 12. They grew back again. But
really weak.
But it is, isn't it? But people making the comments to you about we've seen you on LinkedIn, it just goes to show that, and I was on an event this morning, there was a LinkedIn expert on there, we're talking about, people, they see stuff, but they never comment, they don't comment. You get 90% of people who lurk on LinkedIn, they don't say anything because they don't want to. But then when they come up to you and say, I've seen you, like you say, it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I still find it a bit, I won't say unnerving, but it's like, hang on a minute, you know me and I don't know you.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's how you're networking. That's you see what you do, and then you get into all that conversation and how can you help each other, etc.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Richard's now forever known as the man with the t-shirt on when he comes on, to here. So we keep him. He's got his own. He's making a point of every time he comes on, which is great. And I think it's so important that when it comes to branding, marketing, all that kind of stuff, you stand out. That's the key thing, and people I think are a little bit afraid to do it.
But the thing is, as well, it's like in my phone, I've got people. I don't have second names.
Yeah.
I might put Richard T-shirt in.
Yeah.
And I do stuff like that to remember, because and thing for me as well, with touching on dyslexia.
Yes.
I suffer with dyslexia, but it's not really bad. And all it is it's just another way of getting somewhere, but going a different route.
Yeah.
But that helps me. That's my thing. So colour, name, nickname, all like that. That's how I sort of find my way about. So,
but there's nothing wrong with that, is there? It's about how you do it and how you recognise and interact with other people. And
definitely.
People like you for, and everyone's got a high regard for you in the networking scene and everything else. So it's just, I think it's keeping it. I mean, when did you sort of start realising that was really important to you, as far as apart from the music side of stuff, the way your image, your look, and does that something that kind of started?
No, do you know? To be fair, I've image-wise, it just felt like that. It just happened. It was just like, I'm growing a beard, I can't bother cutting it, and then hair started growing, and then obviously into eyelids and stuff like that. But I had the hair and the beard and all that were before the eyelids, right? Because people always go, "Oh, you bought an eyelid, so you've grown a beard and got tattoos." Like, no, I didn't. No. I've been into stuff like that long before motorbikes, you know. But no, it just fell. That's how it all landed, and I just sort of went with flow.
Yeah. Like I say, I think it's so important that people just don't, make enough of that as a statement.
But saying that though, I love people to judge me. There's no, I find it absolutely brilliant. But expecting that, I've had so many conversations where, I've had so many conversations where it's like, do you know, I once met a lady at Connect Yorkshire, I won't tell you the name.
No.
And she come up to me and we had a bit of a chin wag and whatever. And she says, do you know, can I be honest with you? I found you very daunting to approach at first.
Yeah.
And I went, why? She says, just your tattoos and your beard and everything. Yeah. And I was like, I'm only human. I said, I'm not, I'm not going to bite your head off. And then when we'd left the conversation, she actually sent me an email and says, you are actually quite a lovely person, really. And I'm like,
yeah, you have to wear a badge saying I'm really nice. Don't be.
I'm really nice, mate. Please talk to me.
Please
please talk to me. I don't have friends.
A special badge.
But it also works when somebody don't pay and you go knock on their office door. Have you got my money on the go? Now.
I think I think you can't top that up, but I think it comes back to perception, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The whole thing is around perception, and I'm sure people have that kind of thing, and hopefully people who genuinely know you, and it doesn't matter those people who don't know you, does it? Because it's the ones who know you that really matter.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so it's just I just find the whole thing. I know Deb Brogden talks a lot about it around personal branding.
Yeah,
just find it absolutely fascinating. So going back onto your music then. Have you any concerts kind of lined up or anything you're kind of thinking about?
Absolutely nothing. I'll be totally honest with you. I've been, I won't say worried, but a little bit sort of, since restrictions are not lifted, but lifting slowly. I don't really, I've not been bothered for going out anywhere. No. And I don't know if that's me that's put myself in that position, or if a lot of people are in the same position thinking, well, I've spent nearly a year and a half at home, so do I really need to be going out to the pub on a night and out here and out there and stuff like that? So
I must admit, I'm not desperate to go out for a pint, although we are seeing friends of the week, but I'm not desperate to go out to the pub. I'm looking
I know people that have rushed out when other day when these restrictions, it was like pub.
My daughter works in that industry, and she said we're like queuing up and outside in the rain, the pints were filling up quick and they could drink it and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
like crazy times. I know we've actually got concert tickets to go and see Genesis, which are booked for September, but if they postpone it again, they'll probably all be dead. So hopefully they'll get it. it'll all be fine, because I don't think we can go much longer. So looking forward to that. I've got to say, we do like that. So I'm looking forward to going back. So yes, it's all been good. So,
I just wish I were born a bit earlier, because I'd have loved to have gone to Donington Park to see AC/DC. That would have been it for me.
Is that kind of one of your regrets of bands that you've not seen then, or like the opportunity to go and see?
Yeah, definitely. If I could have my time a bit earlier, I'd have definitely gone to see AC/DC.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I've seen them as a tribute band, but they're never the same. They're never the same.
No.
Anyone else you kind of wish you'd seen? Should have asked you that one yesterday.
I don't think these really, to be fair.
I know one of mine was Thin Lizzy. I'd love to go and see Thin Lizzy live.
Well, yeah, I suppose when you look back like that, then
that's one of the bands I would have seen. I kind of got into them through my cousin, and it's one of those ones I would love to go to see.
T-Rex. I'd like to go and see Mark Bolan.
Yeah.
Because I like that sort of music as well. That's where a lot of your glam rock came from. He was like the original glam rock.
Yeah. It was.
I might put some glitter in that on tomorrow when I come to work. Just a couple of patches of glitter.
Could see a bit of eyeliner on there.
Definitely.
And a bit of a spangly jacket. I think on that note, we should leave it there.
Me too.
Listen, I just want to say, Dean, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
I've enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for joining us. For those who want to connect with you, Dean, we're going to send an email out tomorrow with links to your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
And hopefully people connect with you, because this will go out to everyone who, even if they've signed up and not been able to watch it with us, it'll go out to an email to them, and they can join us and have a bit of a watch and a bit of a natter. But I really appreciate your time today.
Perfect.
Thank you. It's been good for another chat. Thank you for those who've joined us. Next month we're chatting to Gary Hibbard.
Gary Hibbert.
ISO security man.
The man.
Yes, who him and his wife do all sorts of doing music and things. So that should be a good way to have it should be a good watch. So there'll be details of that coming out very soon.
Perfect.
Say thanks again, Dean, for your time. Really appreciate it, and look forward to catching you soon. Thanks everyone for watching. Recording will be out in the next day or so. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Cheers, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.